Next on WoodSongs, it's the full hour with superstar Amy Grant.
Anywhere with Jesus I can safely go. Anywhere he leads me in this world below. Anywhere without him, dearest joys would fade. Anywhere with Jesus I am not afraid. Anywhere, anywhere.
WoodSongs is made possible in part by Alltech, makers of Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale. More information is online at kentuckyale.com. And by Tourism Ireland. More information available at ireland.com. By Time Warner Cable, providers of telephone, television, and high-speed internet nationwide. And by Kentucky Tourism. Information is online at kentuckytourism.com.
Here on the Louisiana Hayride, his name is Hank Williams, the drifting cowboy.
On the Grand Ole Opry, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys.
Hi, this is Bruce Hornsby. Hi, this is Kevin Moe.
Hey folks, this is Bela Fleck.
Hi folks, this is Sam Bush.
Hello, this is Odetta.
This is Joan Baez, and you're listening to the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
And now, gather the family around and sit back in your easy chair. It's time again for the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour, our worldwide celebration of grassroots music. Let's welcome folk singer, author, and tree hugger, Michael Jonathan.
Thank you. We talk about music and art and family a lot on WoodSongs, and this is a song that I wrote for my little girl, for my daughter, when she had her first boyfriend. It's the kind of thing for a dad, you look at the young fella and you want to strangle him, but what you end up doing is taking him out for a hamburger and just giving him the daddy talk. But this is a song of a daddy's love for his kids. There's a love a father knows, a special place his daughter goes, on a river of love that always flows gently to the sea. On the ocean we sail away to a sunset so far away, on a ship of words with still so much to say as you go away. And I know you'll be going soon and leave behind your empty room, and my heart will break like a big balloon the day you go away. So who's this boy that keeps coming round? What's this love that you claim you found? And since when did I lose so much ground in your life these days? You change so fast, you change so soon, with the shocking speed of a sonic boom. Now you struggle free from my warm cocoon as you go away. And I know you'll be going soon and leave behind your empty room, and my heart will break like a big balloon the day you go away. So these words I sing from my heart. My love for you will never stop, and your daddy's love is a real good place to start as you go away. And welcome to the beautiful and historic Lyric Theater. Here we are in our hometown of Lexington, Kentucky. We're at the crossroads of America's folk and bluegrass music, the gateway city of the wonderful Appalachian Mountains. There's so much art and music that happens in Lexington and the surrounding areas. Don't we love living here? What a nice hometown. And we're so glad that we get to broadcast our show from the Lyric Theater stage. So many artists come from around the world to be part of the broadcast, where we celebrate music as though it's a precious diamond. And like a diamond, it has all these great musical facets to it. It's folk and blues, it's bluegrass, country, Celtic, old-timey, new singer-songwriter. Sometimes it's classical. We've had opera, we've had rock and roll on this show. Why? Because we love it all, and we believe that the grassroots music world needs to be celebrated in all its beautiful colors. And so artists do come from everywhere. We say it very often, too, that artists don't have to be famous to be on WoodSongs. They just have to be very, very good. And sometimes an artist comes along on our stage that is worth the entire hour, and that's what we're doing on this broadcast, dedicating the entire hour to a singer that made her entrance into the pop music world with the former lead singer of a great big band. The guy's name was Peter Cetera, and she was on this record with him. And then a few years later, she was looking at her little baby daughter, and she wrote herself a wonderful song that became a great, big, huge hit record all on her own worldwide. You remember this song, Baby Baby. So since then, her career has expanded and twisted and turned, and now she's got a brand new album. It's called How Mercy Looks From Here. This is a song she's going to introduce the album with. It's called Our Time Is Now. Please welcome multi-Grammy Award winner, 30 million albums sold worldwide, Amy Grant on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio.
Are marching forward. April, May, June, and July, they fly like a hummingbird. August, September, October, the year is almost over. November, December arrive, another year come and gone. Time is illusion. Time is a curse. Time is all these things and worse. But our time is now. Oh, yes, our time is now. Let us sing before our time runs out. The sound of your laughter, your smile, these things are never changing. But Monday I'll blink and it's Friday. slow it down. Saturday, Sunday, now Monday, another week starting over. Seconds to minutes to hours, here's what I found. Time is illusion. Time is a curse. Time is all these things and worse, but our time is now. Oh, yes, our time is now. Oh, let us sing before our time runs out. Time is illusion. Time is a curse. Time is all these things and worse, but our time is now. Oh, yes, our time is now. Oh, let us sing before our time runs out. I want to sing before my time, yeah, runs out.
Beautiful new record. It's called How Mercy Looks From Here. Amy Grant, it's nice to have you here. Thank you so much for coming. Well, it's wonderful to see you. You come from a rather somewhat large family, full family, right? You, lots of brothers and sisters.
I have 3 sisters, and we are all in the Nashville area.
But you moved to Nashville when you were just a little kid, and when did music hit you? When did the guitar and music and songs start striking you?
Oh my goodness. Well, my earliest music memories were singing in church, and I don't mean in a choir, I just mean standing probably beside my great-grandmother. She was a tiny little woman, maybe 4'10", and had a really husky, low alto voice. And we grew up in a church denomination that didn't have any instruments. There was no piano, no organ, so if you weren't singing, there was nothing. And I'll never forget the day my oldest sister, Kathy, was pointing to the music in the songbook, and she said, hey, if you would learn to follow those black notes, you'd sing what the rest of us are singing. I don't know what I was singing, but I was loving it.
Well, they were obviously encouraging to you, right? They wanted you to catch up to the rest of the crowd, right? So you eventually, as a teenager, you found a group of folks in sort of like a hippie community type atmosphere, which you really liked, and instruments were part of that.
Yes, and it was really built around a coffee shop in Nashville that was right beside a church, where everybody wore blue jeans, and it was just unlike anything I'd ever been to. And when you described this place as being filled with love, that's what that coffee shop felt like. And so I started writing songs. I was 15, and through a crazy set of circumstances, I got a record deal that very year because a record exec heard my music played over the phone to him, and I'm quoting him exactly. It's been years, and this is what he said. Well, she's not very good, but she sure sounds sincere. See if she wants to record.
Well, didn't you, you went to a studio, you recorded a demo. You recorded a demo, and the fellow who produced your demo played it over the phone to the president of a record label.
Yes.
Right? And they ended up signing you.
They did.
And you were just, like, 16 years old or so, something like that? When you look back on that, realizing how many grown people moving in and out of Nashville, trying desperately to get attention, trying so hard to get a record deal of their own and stuff, and you just had your tape played over the phone, and boom, there you were.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Lightning strikes as well.
Well, we're going to go back. We're going into one of your earlier albums, one of the very early songs of your career. It's from a CD called Rock of Ages, Hymns of Faith. This is a tune called Anywhere with Jesus. It's Amy Grant on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio.
She would not have heard this song this way, because we sang a cappella. I'm picturing her just rolling over in her grave. Safely go anywhere he leads me in this world below. Anywhere without him, dearest joys would fade. Anywhere with Jesus, I am not afraid. Anywhere, anywhere, any little fear I'll never know. No, no, anywhere with Jesus I can safely go. Anywhere with Jesus I am not alone. Other friends may fail me, he is still my own. Though his hand will lead me over dreariest ways, anywhere with Jesus is a house of praise. Anywhere, anywhere, any little fear I'll never know. Anywhere with Jesus I can safely go. Come on, Gina. Go to sleep when the dark and shadows round about me creep, knowing I will wake and never more to roam. Anywhere with Jesus will be home, sweet home. Anywhere, anywhere, any little fear I never know. Anywhere with Jesus I can safely go. Anywhere with Jesus I can surely go. All the way to Lexington, Kentucky, to be on WoodSongs.
It's a wonderful voice of Amy Grant. We got to give Gene Miller on that acoustic guitar some props. Good playing, Gene. The wonderful Tony Harrell on keyboards and Greg Morrow on percussion sitting in the back. Amy's got a good band. So, you're the youngest of four sisters, a musical family, grandma's encouraging you to sing, and everybody's trying to tell you what the little black dots mean, and then you go to the coffee house and a little more musically expressive, and you start writing your own songs, and you got a record deal when you're like 16, 17 years old. That's a rocket ship ride for anybody. I mean, your head must have been spinning.
You know, it was such an unobserved era in our society and in my life. You know, the youngest of four daughters, I feel like my sisters sort of, enough of them raised enough of a commotion. I sort of always believed that I have lived under the radar.
30 million albums sold, though. That's a big, broad piece of radar. So you did good. You did real good. So who were you listening to? At 16 years old, you get a record deal, but who were your musical influences at that time as a young
James
girl?
Taylor, Carole
James
King, Joni Mitchell, of course the Beatles, early Elton John, any records that my older sisters purchased that I could sneak out of their bedrooms and onto my turntable.
What was your original songwriting like at 16, 17 years old, say compared to today? I mean, we're getting into the songs of your new album, which I personally think are brilliant. And it's a beautiful album, beautifully done, beautifully written, beautifully performed. I think the audience is going to love it. But when you compare it, as a young woman that you are now, to the even younger woman of 16, 17 years old, how's your songwriting changed?
As a songwriter, you always hope your best song is ahead.
Yeah.
So everything is new when you're young. You know, every idea you believe is fresh, and you have no idea that roses are red, violets are blue. You smell fantastic. I hope I do too. You know, all of it feels like Shakespeare.
And this is a tune called Father's Eyes. It's Amy Grant on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
Well, I have to actually give credit where credit is due. And a young man walked into that coffee shop where I sang frequently, and he played this song. And I wound up being married to that man for a while. Oh, I just played the wrong intro to that song. I was talking about one. Well, okay, well, I kind of love the writer of this song too. What should I do right now, Michael? I've just gone in a million directions.
You could always play Father's Eyes.
Okay, I think I will. I may not be every mother's dream for her little girl, and my face may not grace the mind of everyone in the world. But that's all right, as long as I can have one wish. I pray when people look inside my life, I want to hear them say, she has her father's eyes, her father's eyes. You know, eyes that find the good in things when good is not around. Eyes that find the source of help when help just can't be found. All eyes full of compassion, seeing every pain, knowing what you're going through and feeling it the same. Just like my father's eyes, oh, my father's eyes, my father's eyes. That's right, it's just like my father's eyes.
Amy Grant, Father's Eyes, alone with her guitar. Amy, you sound just as good alone as you do with the band. So when you're used to performing with a band, I mean, I guess when you were young, you did a lot of the solo acoustic coffee house stuff, right? So this is not an unusual world for you.
It's so much more exciting with great players. When I play by myself, it's charming. I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, I guess it's charming for anybody to pick up a guitar, but about 3 songs in, really.
I think our audience would disagree with that part, so I'm just trusting that they would. So let's talk about the new record. And in the second half hour, we're going to explore the theme behind it. But this is your first album in 10 years.
It is.
So what took so long?
Life. I had 3 teenagers, and they would have loved for me to be completely out of pocket. The end of my mother's life, that happens one time. I didn't want to be away. And just family, you know. The amazing thing happened. My mom made it safely to the other side. And several months after that, I felt like a rocket engine had been attached to my creative self. And really, it was in that, all of that energy, that huge gust of wind into my creative sail, that I made this record.
You know, with the passing, you were very close to your mom.
I was.
You're close to your dad, and he's ill right now too, right?
Yes.
So there was and I don't know if you're going to follow where I'm going with this, but there was a friend of yours that you had a rather intense conversation with, and this friend gave you the point of what parents teach us.
Yeah.
Can you explain that, if you know where I'm going with that?
Sure, yeah, I was ranting. It was late one night. It was probably close to midnight, and my mother was such a lovely woman, so beautiful. My dad treated cancer patients his whole life, and just an amazing bedside manner, and really the steep, slippery slide into dementia that they both experienced was nothing that had ever happened in our family. And I was shaking my fist. Why? And I was just so frazzled. And all of this was coming out late one night with this dear friend of mine, Sherry. And she said something that stopped me in my tracks and completely redirected my energy. She said, "Amy, don't you see, this is the last great lesson your parents will teach you."
And it's a tribute to all moms and dads, isn't it? It is an incredibly powerful new album. The CD is called How Mercy Looks From Here. This is a song off that album called If I Could See. It's Amy Grant on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio.
If I could see what the angels see behind the walls, beneath the sea, under the avalanche, through the trees, gone would be the mysteries. If I could see, if I could hear what angels hear, the thunderous sound of a crashing tear, holy, holy, in my ear, I'd never doubt that God is near. If I could hear, I'd see that love will conquer hate. There's always hope, it's not too late. I'd find the truth is easy to believe. If I could see, if I could know what angels know, that death's goodbye is love's hello, and spirits come and spirits go. I feel them, but they never show. If I could know, if I could stand where angels stand, watch this world while God commands, and see how love designed this plan, reminders on his feet and hands. If I could stand, I'd see that love will conquer hate. There's always hope, it's not too late. I'd find the truth is easy to believe. If I could see, if I could hear, if I could know, there's nothing to fear. If I could stand, if I could see, or maybe that's finally eternity. Oh, could see that love will conquer hate. There's always hope, it's not too late. I'd find the truth is easy to believe. Oh, like sunlight shining on my face, I'd see the presence of your grace. I'd find the truth and finally be set free. If I could see, if I could see, if I could see, one day I'll see.
What a beautiful album, what a beautiful song. If I Could See, one of the tunes off of How Mercy Looks From Here. Amy Grant on our broadcast for the whole hour. We've got another 30 minutes of great music and conversation to go. Stay right where you are. We will be back right after this.
Hey everybody, I'm Vince Gill, listening to my beautiful wife, Amy Grant, on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour. Hi baby, come home soon.
And thank you everybody so much for tuning into our broadcast. We're halfway through a wonderful broadcast with the legendary Amy Grant on here for the entire hour. And getting back into the new album, Amy, How Mercy Looks From Here. You described what you went through with your beloved mom and her passing, how painful that was for you, as it would be for anybody, right? And the lessons that you learned and how your creative juices were sort of unleashed. But you really had to go through a very unusual 7 or 8 days for that to launch. And it started with your cousin?
Oh my goodness! Yeah, you're
right?
talking. Yes.
And then
yeah, you're talking specifically about where the inspiration from this album title came from.
yes, and then Osley.
Yes,
right?
a great musician friend of mine. It was life happens. It's crazy, always for all of us. And the crazy thing is that in the worst of times, sometimes the best experiences are happening. Maybe I read, or maybe someone said at one point, but the phrase stuck in my head: beauty and tragedy dancing together as if they had the right. Mm-hmm. So the month of May 2010 was one of those weeks for our family. Our greater family of Nashville experienced an historic flood. Everyone was affected.
Right.
And then flood waters reached their height on Monday. Tuesday, a very dear musician friend of mine whose bunk was directly across from mine on the tour bus.
He was with you for like 16 years.
Yes, and we actually have a song on this new record.
Yeah.
And but he took his life, and a lot of times creative people have a tortured side, and he certainly did. Will Owsley. So he was buried on Tuesday, and then my cousin Adam Spain was killed in Afghanistan on Thursday, and the oldest of our blended family of 5, Jenny Gill, was married to her best friend and love of her life, Josh Van Valkenburg, on Saturday. And, you know, we are a blended family, but I remember that week it was such a crazy emotional roller coaster. And at the end of the week, Jenny was married in our side yard, and so all of her our entire dysfunctional family was present. And at one point, where the bride had gotten ready was in Vince's and my bathroom, and she had vacated. They were about to go, and just last minute, I dashed in there. I'm brushing my teeth, and Jenny's mom, Janice, who she's so crazy about, was in there fixing her hair. Vince is brushing his teeth, and he turns around and looks at the two of us, and honestly, the feeling of so much love in that place, and he said, "This is a scenario I never anticipated."
Thus the title, How Mercy Looks From Here.
Yes.
Right. So now we'll all picture Vince with the toothbrush in his mouth as we hear your album. But let's go into your album, because you're about to perform what I think is a unique song off the album, because as a young girl, one of your big heroes was James Taylor.
Oh, love him, yes.
Yeah, and you pitched him to do a song years and years ago.
I did in the late 90s.
Yeah.
I asked him if he would sing on a record of mine, and he said, well, I would love that. Send me the song. And I wrote something I was so excited about, and I sent it to him, and I didn't hear anything. And I contacted him, and he said, you know, that song is really not very good, and why don't we wait on something special?
So you finally sent him the song you were about to perform, and he said yes to this song.
But I was nervous. It was many years later, 15 years later, but I was still sweating. And by the way, that song he didn't like was immediately cut from that record.
Yeah, right.
So,
well,
no
this
one's
one
ever-
made it on it. It's officially James Taylor approved from the CD How Mercy Looks From Here. It's called Don't Try So Hard. Amy Grant on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio Hour.
Another Monday comes and I just wanna breathe. 'Cause it's a long, long week for someone wired to please. I keep taking my aim, pushing it higher. Wanna shine bright, even brighter now. Wish I could tell myself, don't try so hard. God gives you grace, you can't earn it. Don't think that you're not worth it, because you are. He gave you his love and he's not leaving. Gave you his son so you'd believe it. You're lovely even with your scars. Don't try so hard. Do you remember how the summers felt when we were kids? Oh, we didn't think much about it, we just lived. Taking our time, beautiful leisure. When did we start trying to measure up? When all of this time, love has been trying to tell us, don't try so hard. God gives you grace, you can't earn it. Don't think that you're not worth it, because you are. He gave you his love and he's not leaving. Gave you his son so you would believe it. You're lovely even with your scars. Don't try so hard. Don't try so hard. Don't try so hard. God gives you grace, you can't earn it. Stop thinking you're not worth it, because you are. He gave you his love and he's not leaving. Gave you his son so you'd believe it. You're lovely even with your scars. Lovely the way you are. So open up your lovely heart and don't try so hard. Don't try so hard. Don't try so hard.
Isn't that beautiful? Don't Try So Hard from her brand new CD, How Mercy Looks From Here. If you want to make this wonderful album part of your home music collection, you can visit our website, woodsongs.com. Click on the archive page. This is show number 721, and we'll show you how you can get that beautiful album from Amy Grant. What a lovely line in there. You're lovely even with your scars. What a life lesson, huh? And it's like every song in this album is important.
Thank you.
So how many songs did you go through to pick the ones that made it on the album?
Well, I'm kind of a slow writer, but I would say maybe 20 songs. Mm-hmm. Some people write hundreds. You know, some years I only write 3 songs, and but it's because there's so much to do in life, you know.
Well, overseeing, 5 kids and a busy husband and your own career and touring and a home and
just overseeing myself is slightly overwhelming, but...
Yeah, right. Welcome to the club. And before we leave the subject of the new record, you opened the set on our broadcast with Our Time Is Now.
Yes.
And you had most of your family, even your dad, singing on that song.
Yes, all those. Right. My children, Jenny, Matt, Melly, Sarah, and Karina, that was my 52nd birthday present. They all came to the studio this last November and sang for me. I didn't think Matt was going to show up. I had not heard him sing ever. He's 25. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I don't try to guilt my kids. We had to take a church picture one time some of them weren't even going, and I just said, the photos at 10 a.m., show up with a good attitude and something that's decent, and I'll pay you $75. Don't ask me what to wear, just show up with a smile. And it's the funniest picture, it's atrocious. But everybody has this Cheshire smile. And I did the same thing. I said, hey, if you don't want to buy me a present, come sing for my birthday. And I thought, Matt's not going to show up. And lo and behold, he was there. And I said, I can't believe it. This was a guilt-free invitation. He said, you didn't guilt me, my sisters did. And my dad's singing also.
Yes, which is nice because he's struggling right now. So it's nice to have his voice on the album. I think half the audience stopped listening when you claimed to be 52, though. You are a beautiful 52.
Thank you.
Vince is a lucky man. From her CD, Rock of Ages, Hymns of Faith, this is a wonderful tune called Helping Hand. It's Amy Grant on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. And little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is strong. And they'll know I'm a Christian by the love. They'll know it by the love. Yes, they'll know we are Christians by our love, They'll know we are Christians. Yeah. We've all seen trouble from time to time. There's a mountain ahead, I've got no strength to climb. Hey, if you're feeling that you're strong, reach out to me. I hope this journey won't take long, but won't you please have mercy, yeah. 'Cause everybody needs a helping hand. Take a look at your fellow man. Tell me what can I do today? Well, everybody needs a helping out. That is what it's all about. Tell me what can I do? What can I do today? Well, I'm talking about the soul all alone, needing the daily bread, some place to lay his head. Oh, mercy, yeah. 'Cause everybody needs a helping hand. Take a look at your fellow man. Tell me what can I do today? What can I do? Everybody needs a helping out. That ain't what it's all about. Tell me what can I do? What can I do today? What can I do today? Yes, they'll know by the love, they'll know by the love. Yes, they'll know we are Christians, Christians by love. Ooh, we are Christians. Christians by love.
It's Gene Miller on guitar, Tony Harrell on keyboards, and Greg Morrow on drums.
Great band. Amy Grant for the entire hour, and I want to make sure that we get this last song in on our hour, so we're going to go straight into this tune and make sure we're there. It's a title cut of one of her earlier albums. I think most of the Amy Grant fans know this song. It's called Lead Me On. Amy Grant on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio.
Shoulder to the wheel for someone else's selfish gain. Here there is no choosing, working the clay, wearing their anger like a ball and chain, fire in the field underneath the blazing sun. Soon the sun was faded and freedom was a song. I heard them singing when the day was done. Sing to the old one. Lead me on to a place where the river runs into your keeping. Oh, lead me on. The way to deliverance comforts the seeking. Oh, and I'm seeking. Yeah. Waiting for the train, labeled with a golden star. Heavy-hearted boarding and whispers in the dark. Where are we going? And is it very far? A bitter cold terrain, echoes of a slamming door, chambers made for sleeping forever, and voices like thunder in a mighty roar. Oh, cry to the Lord, lead me on to a place where the river runs into your keeping. Oh, lead me on, the awaited deliverance comforts the seeking. Oh, lead on, man hurts man, time and time again, and we drown in the wake of our power. Somebody tell me why? Can you tell me why? Oh, tell me why. Lead me on to a place where the river runs into your keeping. Oh, lead me on, the way to deliverance comforts the seeking. Oh, I know I'm seeking. Lead me on to a place where the river runs into your keeping. Hey, lead me on, the awaited deliverance comforts the seeking. Oh, and I'm seeking. Yeah, I'm seeking.
Wasn't it great having Amy Grant on WoodSongs? Thanks to her band, Gene Miller on guitar, Tony Harrell on keyboards, Greg Morrow on percussion. You listen to Amy's story and what beautiful things can come from difficult moments. And it reminded me of something that one of my favorite writers, Ralph Waldo Emerson, said. He was a friend and a mentor to Henry David Thoreau, and he was looking at the troubles of his time in the 1800s. And he said, our greatest glory is not that we fail, it's that we rise up amidst the failure. He also said something very lovely, that the earth laughs in flowers. And I think that the human heart laughs in music. And Amy took the things that happened in her life and the tragedies that were around her, and she just bundled it up into a beautiful album of joy and laughter and heart and passion and sincerity. And that's the kind of artist that I think moves hundreds of thousands or millions of people. It's wonderful to see art in its true power, and I think Amy Grant has done that. My name is Michael Jonathan. I'm a folk singer. I am a tree hugger and a log cabin dweller, and we'll see you next week on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour. Good night.
You've been listening to WoodSongs broadcast number 721. Michael's opening song was Daughter from the Road CD, featuring Melissa Deaton on vocals, Uni Choi on cello, Jessica Zoe and Megan Lineberry on violin, Steve Franken on viola, and Paul Reich on bass.
Thank you for tuning in. There are so many talented artists that appear on our stage. It's very hard sometimes to pick the ones that appear on our TV broadcast. So what we're going to do is leave you with a performance from our huge online archive of past shows. We'll see you next time on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
I wondered, so angry, life filled with sin, I wouldn't let my dear Savior in. Then Jesus came like a stranger in the night. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw
Closed captioning provided by visitlex.com. WoodSongs is made possible in part by Alltech, makers of Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale. More information is online at kentuckyale.com. And by Tourism Ireland. More information available at ireland.com. By Time Warner Cable, providers of telephone, television, and high-speed internet nationwide. And by Kentucky Tourism. Information is online at kentuckytourism.com.